Once again, this is Mario with MIA Microflight, and I just finished these parts here not too long ago with uh, these are going to go on this Feather RB rubber band powered helicopter that I showed in my other video earlier today that I posted. But these are the parts, very simple, printouts. That's going to be my counter mechanism to counteract the torque of the main rotor. And as I was saying in my other video, uh, these fins were just to establish the area that I needed. Gave me a good idea while I was doing some test flights, and that's why they were a little bit ugly, if you will. So, but this is the actual part right here. I have to fold this at the edges here and assemble it with carbon rods, to establish a little more rigidity on this. Otherwise, this gets a little flimsy. But this is the model that this is going to go on. And I have the blade, also the same coverings for the blade. These will be covered with carbon rods, over carbon rods, which establish the leading edges, as I show on these other blades here. You can see the carbon rods right there. And this will be reinforced with, this will be printed paper basically. I sprayed all this with a clear coat, a very lightweight clear coat spray, so that it maintains the color, because it tends to, when you work with this and you tend to handle often, the blades, and these blades will be handled quite a bit because that's how you wind the helicopter. They have to withstand a little bit of abuse there. So the coating protects, the color more than anything, as well as the paper. So that's why that's covered with that. And once they get assembled, they'll have the curvature, the airfoil that you need for creating lift, good lift, proper lift on these models. This is also the cabin, and it's just very simple, and I did this very, very simple to keep it quick, so that I can make these things quick. And you'll be wondering, well, how come I'm making these things so quick? I'm doing videos like on a daily basis, in almost like 2-3 videos at the same time on a per day basis, because these things I make these things simple because I don't number one, I'm retired, and when you retire, you got to make good use of time, the best way you can. So I don't have the luxury that I used to have when I was young. Time is not it's not an issue. We're kind of foolish that way when we're young. Everybody that's young has gone through that. We tend to think that we're going to live forever, and the time is not that important, but it is important. If you are, if you have a business, or if you're of the idea that money is also important of essence, then timing is also very important, because your time is money, as they say. But this is the way this is going to look, and this is what this video is about. I wanted to showcase this before I complete the model. I'm kind of eager, and that's why I'm doing these videos as well. So I want to show all this stuff step by step, so that people understand how I approach these things and why I approach these things this way. I think it's important for me to do that, because I don't know who watches these videos. I don't have that kind of those metrics, and I'm not really interested in so much in the metrics. But I am doing this from the perspective that there are probably people like me out there. I mean, I like to find out how things are done, why they work a certain way. The nitty gritty things, that the geekish things that, if you will, that some people don't like getting into. I mean. I can get really, really detailed with some of these things, but not to get too complex. This is I at least like to show the process, the steps in how I go from one point to the other. And so this is what I'm using. These are my secrets, so to speak, that I never showed before. That at this point I really don't care. To show this case. This is not going to, it's not going to make me rich or poor. And it's more for people, to just to see the process here, for especially young people that may at some point in the future stumble on my videos when I'm no longer here. And I think that's the reason why I'm showing this, is because information like that, if it doesn't get suppressed, in this world, um, or in the place that we live in. I hope that at some point, people stumble on this and they say, "Oh, that's how this guy did it," and let me try, this approach. And who knows, in the future, there may be even materials that are even lighter, and we may be able to do much better things than what I showed. Although this is very, very on the scale of things that I have done over the years. And when I say it in my earlier video that I'm one of those individuals, that has done a lot, that there are probably not many like myself. I meant it from that perspective, in the perspective that I mean, there are people that do videos on a minute basis, where they're constantly putting videos out there, and that's how they get their ratings. I'm not so much interested in ratings as I am in people that truly appreciate creative, artistic, engineering, mechanical, technical stuff. And so that's where I'm coming from, and that's why I'm showing these things. Even though, like I said, this rubber powered helicopter may not be so much, but there's quite a bit of engineering and thought, at least in the thought process, that I employ in achieving all these things that I show here, that I show in my other videos. They're making the parts, because you can whip out a part, as simple as this part may look, and as lightweight as this part may look, but when it comes to performance of these things, some of these things can still be heavy. Like this one right here has this insert here with my logo there, and I did that as an insert just to be able to remove this in case this helicopter was a little too heavy, because every gram on these things count. And so the trick is to make it spiffy. I like having my models with some level of realism and spiffiness. Make it kind of cool. Yeah, they're simple. They may look very, very simplistic, but I still like a little bit of realism and a little bit of attraction to the models. And so that's the way why I decided to do it this way, in kind of similar way that I did my Hughes 300, my other more three-dimensional paper, in paper balsa, and in some paper carbon-based assemblies. So anyway, this is where I'm at. Next video, I will show the model completed and with all the rotors, and I will show you also what I'm doing here to this rotor to be able to get a little more performance out of this particular design. So once again, Mario with MIA Microflight. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.